Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to another deck profile. Today I'm going to be doing Tri-Brigade for Hire, which is a very interesting deck I've been testing out recently. And essentially it just spams the board, makes a lot of links, and does thing. Yeah. But yeah, this is an incredibly fun deck I've been playing recently, and I thought I'd just give a bit of a show off of it, essentially. I will quickly go over the cards in the deck, and then we can do some games. So Raphael is a Pot of Prosperity and a monster negate by pitching a Fur Hire. With Sage for Hire, gain 500 life points for each Fur Hire when summoned, and that's time in the round. You can also discard a spell. Discard a Fur Hire card to negate the activation of a spell or trap. Diner can banish cards from the graveyard up to Fur Hire monsters you control when summoned. And it's the only Fur Hire card that can be attacked while it's not face up on the field. Tri-Brigade Fractal will Foolish essentially any beast warrior or wing beast in your deck. It has to be level 3 or lower, but I think most of them are, to be fair. All Tri-Brigades also have the same effect to banish any number of beast warrior or wing beasts in the grade to special summon one beast warrior or wing beast link with the corresponding link rating. Seal structures fire, so all the lower level Fur Hires have an effect to just summon a Fur Hire from the hand during the main phase. And they have different effects when a Fur Hire is summoned. This one is to target a monster for hire in your graveyard and add it back to your hand. Beats is a rotor. Helmer is a discard a Fur Hire card to draw one. Keras is you can discard a beast or a wing beast, summon it, and it's got the ordinary try effect. Recon can pop a set card. Kit will send a Tri-Brigade card to the grave when she's sent to the grave. Domper will pop a face-up card. Rex, Freight for Hire, is a bit different to the other Fur Hires, where when it's normal special summons, you can add the spell Trap for Hire from your deck to your hand, and when it's in the graveyard, you can banish it to target a card for Hire in graveyard and either add to your hand or special summon it if it's a monster. This is a really good piece of new support, and I think it's done a lot for the archetype. It's really helped to extend. Nerval, when sent to graveyard, will add Tri-Brigade monster from deck to hand. Philo is another really good Fur Hire material summoner, essentially. When a Fur Hire monster is summoned, you can summon a Fur Hire from your graveyard to the field. Rotor's search Beat, because Beat's such a good starter for the deck. Cool Buy to prevent interference, and Droplet when you're going second. Honestly, going first, this card is also very good. You'll generally have spare cards lying around. You can Droplet off to free up zones, or just have like 10 keys face up on the field you can get rid of. Rookie for Hire, tribute a monster summon a Fur Hire from your hand or deck whose level is 1 higher or 1 lower than tributed monster, which is very good. It procs Fur Hire effects and it gets you to a monster you need. You can only declare attacks with Fur Hires after you've activated this card, though. So if you're planning to go access code for game, you cannot activate this card on the turn you do that. Tri-Brigade Airborne Assault summons a Beast Warrior or Wing Beast from deck with different type and less attack than the card you targeted on the field. It's used for link climbing and Fur Hire effect rocking. Mayhem Fire is a quick play reborn for the Fur Hire archetype. Tenki will search either Fractal or Seal, generally searching Fractal to get your Tri-Brigade line going. Tri-Brigade Revolt will summon any of your Beast or Wing Beast monsters in the banished or in the grave, and then immediately link summon a Tri-Brigade Link monster, which will usually be Tri-Brigade Shrike the Ominous Omen. When summoned, it can banish a card on the field. It also activates that effect when a Beast Warrior or Wing Beast is summoned, and if it's sent to the grave, and you can add a Beast Warrior or Wing Beast monster from your deck to hand whose level is less than or equal to the number of your banished Beast Warrior and Wing Beasts. God. Access code for game, you know how it works. Apollosa to put some extra negates on our end board. Folgo Justice for Hire is another very good piece of Fur Hire support. When it needs 3 monsters with different types, you have to note that when you're planning to make this card, and it can't be used as link material. However, when it's summoned, you can summon a monster for hire with a different type from the 3 monsters that you use for it. It has to be in defense, but that's very good. You usually summon Raphael for a negate, or if you haven't gone down the Beat line yet, you'll grab Beat, because Beat can get to Raphael anyway. And if you're a card your opponent controls from a battle or card effect, you can draw 1 card, and if you control 3 or more monsters, including Folgo, for hire, then you get to draw 2 additional cards, so you can draw 3, which is amazing. Tri-Brigade Rugal, the Silver Sheller, essentially during your opponent's main phase, you can quick effect summon a level 4 or lower Beast or a Wing Beast. This is just used to proc for higher effects if you have a different end board to what you'd usually have. Nightmare Unicorn to get away problematic cards. Elsa to link climb and clear zones. Tri-Brigade Bear Run the Rampant Rampager will you don't generally use its first effect, but it can summon a banished level 4 Beast Warrior, or a Beast Warrior, or a Wing Beast. However, the effect we're interested in is you can add a Tri-Brigade spell trap card from deck to hand and place one card on the bottom from your hand on the bottom of the deck when it's sent to the graveyard. It does lock you into Tri-Brigade, so this will be the last thing you do is link this off. However, getting that Revolt will just make your end board so much more potent if you haven't already. Donna Dragon for Hire is another really good piece of for hire support where its first effect you don't really use, but it can target a monster for hire and a monster your opponent controls and destroy them. However, the effect that does come up is tribute one monster special and one monster for hire from your hand or graveyard with a different original name. And then, after that, you can summon a second for hire monster if you tribute to Link. It does not happen simultaneously, so the first for hire effect will be able to proc if you haven't used that monster's effect already. Tri-Brigade Forge at the bottom will summon a Beast Beast or a Wing Beast from your hand, and if it's sent to go, you can draw one and place one on from your hand in the bottom of the deck. It's used for link climbing essentially. Sprite Elf because you're playing 2, so why not play Sprite Elf? It's usually what you'll tribute for Donna. Donna's effect, and then Ancient Warrior's Oath Double Dragon Lords to add another interruption to your end board if you have the opportunity. It can just return a face-up card your opponent controls to the hand. Side deck Lancia Kashtira format, because online I've been playing against a lot of Kashtira now. Lightning Storm, Harpies, and Cosmic for spell, and evenly, I suppose, for spell and traps. Lightning Storm's also a good blinding second card anyway. Dark Ruler, and evenly again for just going second in general. Dimensional Barrier against certain decks which are one mechanic. For example, Branded or Tier, generally declaring Fusion will do a lot. Okay, so that's the deck. Let's get in some games and see what this can actually do. Okay, so our first replay is against Fusion Alistair Eldritch, apparently. Well, we have a good matchup here, because Super Poly is going to be incredibly hard to pull off against our miscellaneous menagerie of creatures dwelling within our deck. However, they are going first, and the Fur-Hire part of the deck does struggle to deal with immediate interruption as they tend to snowball, but our opponent is simply going to end on set Conquistador, set Elixir, and set Super Poly. Super Poly is dead here. He won't have an opportunity to use it. We'll start off by activating a 10 key to search a seal. We'll summon Seal, then they'll conk Elixir. We'll use Airborne Assault to summon a Domper from deck before Seal's destroyed. They'll destroy the seal, activate Fractal, we'll send a kit, then we'll send a Nerval, and then Nerval will set a Fractal for us to pitch off the Keras we'd already drew. We'll summon the Keras to activate Keras, and Eldritch isn't looking very fun on board, so let's just banish that, shall we? Not coming back after that, we'll link to Elf, because we have a 2, we'll then get Domper, Domper can then summon Rex from hand, they will activate the effect to pop, and we'll search a Mayhem for hire for linking plays, and they will surrender. So, yeah. I think the fact that they can't Super Poly this, that's one of the great strengths of this deck, while Super Poly is still at 3, because everything's different types, different attributes, it's all over the place. And obviously, when we've got any one of our extenders, whether it be the Airborne Assault or the Rookie for Hire, it makes it a lot less fragile to immediate interruption, though obviously going second you are going to struggle against big negate boards if you don't draw Droplet. Okay, so the next game is against Atignista. Mathmech Atignista, but I think this is primarily Atignista. We're going first this time, and we have got a pretty good hand. They have got an Imperm, which usually would put a kink in our gears, but we are fine because we've drawn Rookie for Hire. We've also got Droplet, which will come up. So we're almost on beat, and we use beat's effect, which will be impermed. When we'll chain Rookie for hire, so the beat will resolve, and we also get a Rex Freight for hire from our deck. We can now summon Recon from hand off of beat, and we will search a Mayhem for hire, summoning beat back. Now we link to Sprite Elf. Sprite Elf will summon our Recon back, and now beat can trigger, searching us any card. As we'll activate and summon a Philo, and we're going into Donna, and then we use, since for hire, summon we use Philo to summon beat back. Now we tribute Sprite Elf to summon Rex and Recon. Now we're going to Napalosa. And we'll special back a Donna using Rex. We'll go into Folgo. Folgo will summon Raphael from deck. Then we just get to add the top card essentially to hand. Okay, so we'll pitch Fractile, send Kit, send Nerval. We're not going to be able to do a Revolt line because we haven't got another Beast Warrior, Wing Beast, or Beast in hand. However, we'll summon a Seal from deck and Droplet material. We'll set Droplet and pass. They'll activate I Meet You. They'll summon Kari, we'll Shotgun Appaloosa. We're just going to keep them from comboing off. They'll try and get it, and then we'll Appaloosa that again. They'll Gatchiri, we will negate. They've got one addition left. They'll use addition here, we won't be able to negate. Go into Splash Mage. We will Droplet that. We are not going to let the access code line pass, and they'll move towards end phase, take 2300 off of I Meet You. And that's a pretty damn good draw, but we don't even need to combo off here. We can simply summon Shuraig, banish, and move to battle, which will be lethal. So I think the important thing to take away from this replay is, I think when I was looking back through it, there's some things I did where I could have changed to end on a revolt. It's just a weird, because this deck's very non-linear. You kind of choose what you search. The only linear thing about it is the Elf Donna combo and the Tri-Brigade stuff, really. The rest of your comboing, how you get to your end board, is kind of just up to you. And you need to remember to try stuff last, which often means if you're not careful, you end up with a hand that's literally just your spell and traps because you've flooded the board when you don't need to. But yeah, it's just something to bear in mind when you are comboing. Okay, so our last replay is against Ishizu Telements. So they've bricked, very unfortunate. And how they are going first means they're going to go for a synchro play. Destrudo is actually quite an interesting addition in the tier arsenal, but they're going to end on a Call by the Grave and a Clearwing, which is still decent, and they've got a Kelbeck in hand. We'll start off with Rex. Rex will grab a Rookie, Rookie will summon Beat. Keras pitch Dinah, then they'll try to bounce our Keras, but we'll Droplet it away and negate the Clearwing. Now we'll Mayhem back the Rex, that'll trigger Beat. We'll summon Philo from hand with Beat, and then we'll link to Elf, that we can summon back Dinah. However, that will be negated by Call By. Sprite Elf will summon Keras back, we'll link to Donna, then we'll Tribute, and then we'll summon these two. We don't have anything great for Philo, so we're going to Folgo, and we'll summon a Raphael from deck. Then we'll add an Airborne Assault, we'll move to battle. We'll remember that we can get 3 for higher names on board. We'll beat over Clearwing, and now we get to draw 3 cards. That feels so good to resolve. We'll set a Revolt, a Droplet, and an Airborne Assault and pass. They'll activate Pelarino, that's a pretty good draw. So they activate Chiron here. Now, knowing that they've added Chiron means that we kind of can guess they have a Nagita or a Kelbeck in hand. So I negate with Raphael here. They'll Agido, summoning, and then summoning Kelbeck. They'll make a redoer, they'll move towards battle. We'll revolt. Make a Shuraig, and then we'll activate Shuraig and Seal. Then we'll activate redoer, and then we'll Airborne Assault and then send the Airborne Assault with Droplet to negate the redoer so it doesn't get to do anything. And it gets banished, and they will surrender. So I unfortunately didn't set this to a best of 3. However, again, best of 3, my deck only gets stronger against Telements. But I think this aptly demonstrated what sort of board it can make, even if you are heavily interrupted. Well, I guess it's interrupted to a degree. Okay, so my final thoughts on the deck are that it is good, it's fun. It might not actually, in reality, be able to keep up with the fast pace that meta is going at the moment, especially with Kashtira around the corner. I don't think that's a great matchup for this, especially with Shuraig's banish only doing literally nothing to the Kashtiras who already banished themselves anyway. However, currently, still making Appaloosa and a couple of other negate/interruption is still fairly good. But I think that, to be fair, it's fairly budget, apart from Droplet, none of this really costs too much. I think apart from, I'm not counting the side deck here, obviously. Elf's more expensive than, Elf and Access Code are the only expensive cards, really, in the extra deck. Access Code is not essential, it hasn't really come up, but Elf is. But I think it's very fun that you can take to locals. You might be able to win, who knows? I don't hold me to that. But it's definitely not something that will be able to compete at top tier events. It's similar. I mean, it's definitely more competent than the Spirit Charms, though. God. But yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would really appreciate it if you could show any support by leaving a like, subscribing, and if there's any decks you want me to build, leave a comment. I've been asked to build, try and build Pen Magicians. Yeah, that's interesting. I did a stream trying to learn how to do Pendulum Magicians at twitch.tv/accursed. That went, yeah, that even like 3 cups of coffee wasn't enough to carry me through that. Because, God, maybe I'm just building it wrong. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.